I'm going to deliberately labour the point. We've been talking about joy for the last few weeks now. We've been talking about how we really should be enjoying our lives, because as far as we know, as things stand right now, this is the only life we have. And indeed, as things stand right now, this life can only be lived in this now, as far as we know, for sure. I want to talk a little bit about the extent to which, however, life can bite you on the backside, the extent to which we can be confronted by challenge and by crisis. We talked about manufactured challenges last week when I mentioned that a lot of people say, oh, I don't like my job. That's a manufactured challenge because we've manufactured it through useless thought in our own head. But what if we are confronted by real challenge or indeed crisis? You will have read, and perhaps you have experienced, the manner in which we can suddenly be imbued with what might be described as superhuman powers in a crisis situation. Suddenly we know exactly what we need to do, and we know exactly how to do it, and there's no thought involved, and we just go and do it. And we surprise ourselves, or as I said a moment ago, we could actually be said to have kind of superhuman powers because we are completely in the zone, in the moment, in flow, in response to a crisis. The interesting thing about that is the stuff for which the human mind was designed. If you think about the evolutionary perspective and the need to escape the crisis of being confronted by a woman or man-eating tiger, this is how the mind actually works. We, in other words, can actually enjoy the exhilaration of the superhuman powers that we experience in flow. When confronted with a crisis, we do just exactly what we know we need to do to get to where we want to go. Why wait for a crisis? Why wait for a real challenge when actually life is urgent? Life is earnest, and life is real, and we need to do all in our power to drink and sup from the well of superhuman power that we all have available to us, moment to moment, when we turn up to the moment, you see, because that is the defining characteristic of a crisis. You have to be in the moment. You have no choice. Another defining characteristic as a result of that is I can't waste time procrastinating or thinking about what I have to do. I have to go and do it. These are the defining characteristics of flow. These are the defining attributes of what life is like in flow. And the only difference between that and the normal everyday life is what is going on in your own head, and a decision, albeit an automatic one, a decision that we normally make to just make our way through the day. You need to enjoy this moment. This right here, right now, is the only place and time where your life is lived. This right here, right now, is the only time that you can do your best. You can't think about doing your best some other time. It's all happening here. And it's all urgent. Because you need to live your life to the full without letting it pass you by whilst wandering around in a fog of thought. You need to live your life right here, right now, while you can.